So this first game, Rose City Wreckers traveling up from Portland, Grave Danger in the red, Rose City in the white. The first of 3 games with a, well, I guess 15-minute game is still a game, right?
It's still a game. And it's going to be a fierce and fabulous game because it's some of the founders of the league here and some of their most notable alumni coming back to play just for fun, but also for pride.
Pride is always.
We are off on the first jam. That is A Green Beam, number 5, your jammer for Grave Danger, out ahead of everyone with lead jammer status.
We got 5:15 Alley Cat with the star for Rose City. Also through. A Green Bean grabs the points and calls it off. Classic Aurora Green, I gotta say. Quickly through, get the points. Stop it off. Grave Danger coming in 3rd in the league, so they are playing in this consolation game today. Later on, we'll have Throttle Rockets versus Derby Liberation Front for the championship game. That's like 7-something. I could look at the timeline, but what's the fun of that?
Also, since when has Roller Derby ever kept to the published timeline?
Very, very true.
What we have done, though, is kept to that 30 seconds in between jams. We are off one more time. Number 815, Tiny Danger from Portland, away with lead jammer status this time.
Meanwhile, a hand job of the Hut with the star for Grave Danger is clear of the pack. Sure, the shirt says Bento, but the script says hand job of the Hut.
Tiny Danger does the same thing done to them in the previous jam, gets through, puts up some points, calls it off.
And we are tied at 4 apiece. A perfectly even match so far. Next up we will have number 55 Rex for Grave Danger with singular they, them. Or they, him. It does say they, him, and I forgot to check in.
Number 19 from the Rose City Records, that is Debbie Does Malice, has gone to have a seat in the penalty box for direction of gameplay penalties. So Grave Danger with a 1 blocker advantage in the pack. That's letting Rex get through a little bit easier with lead jammer status. However, just now we have also had a Grave Danger penalty. Qui-Gon Ginger also going to go have a seat, this time for a multiplayer block.
Meanwhile, singular they, him. Push it towards the front, but caught. Now pulling off the star as Rex is through with 4 points.
Successful star pass there to Bratmobile.
Bratmobile spins around the corner. Calls off the jam, and Qui-Gon Ginger picking up the first penalty for Grave Danger, a multiplayer block. But we did add another 6 points, 10 points rather, total, so 6 on the jam.
Darth Slade, her, and Devo lining up to go into the next jam. Rose City back to full strength in the pack while Qui-Gon Ginger still sits that penalty. Devo is through and up. Lead jammer status once again for Portland.
That was a stumbly pass, but hey, it works. If you get through, you're clear. Through is through. Excellent force out at the front. I think that was 86 Sunny with the hip check out to the outside. But Darth Slater finally through. Completing the initial pass as Devo taps his hips and is done with that jam. 4 up for Rose City. And that gives us a 2-point game, 10-8, Grave Danger in the lead.
Alley Cat returning to the jam line for the Rose City Wreckers. Squaring off against Sneaky One Kenobi.
So sneaky.
So sneaky I almost didn't catch the name. Alley Cat threw up the inside lead jammer status for the Rose City Wreckers.
3rd lead of the game for Rose City. Sneaky One Kenobi also clear. Alley Cat taps the hips on the outside. Did get all 4 points. That is a 2-point lead change now. 12 to 10. If you need a bite to eat, check out the Birdhouse, located in West Seattle, with breakfast, lunch, and an entire menu of delicious coffees and teas. There is truly something for everyone, whether you need a meal on the go or you have time to sit and enjoy the atmosphere. This cafe is the place to go, the Birdhouse in West Seattle. Not being from West Seattle, I have not visited because it's an island.
In fact, and for a while the bridge wasn't working.
Exactly.
Today what is working is A. Green Beam's jammer game. She found a lane up the inside, is out with lead jammer status once again.
Tiny Danger getting called on the cut track. Forced out, came in too early. And A. Green is through with 4 points. Oh, I forgot to ask the refs. I wonder if during the alumni bout they're going to bring back the jammer lap point, just to confuse everybody.
Seeing as I know some of these referees are new to the game and were not around for that era, I would love to see them try
It'll
it.
be fun. Further prove the point that it was pointless. All right, A. Green is through. 4 more points.
Fun fact about the Grave Danger jammer currently out there scoring points with lead jammer status, I taught her how to skate.
There you go. And now look at her. She's just an adult. Tiny Danger released from the penalty box. Back into play, A. Green. 3rd scoring pass complete.
Tiny Danger forced out. She's going to have to run all the way back again and then again with the cover in hand. Meanwhile, A. Green Beam out and around. 4 more points for Grave Danger.
Green Bean approaching on the 5th pass. Accelerates up, sneaks right through. And I think Tiny Danger may have picked up another penalty. Did just roll over and sit down, so, oh yes, another cut. 2 cuts in a jam for Tiny Danger. And a nice big 20-point run for Grave Danger takes them to 30.
Once again, hand Job of the Hut is taking the jammer line for Grave Danger. Meanwhile, Tiny Danger, the jammer for the Rose City Records, is going to start this jam in the penalty box.
And Job of the Hut knocked to the ground, not out. And is lead. It's just gotten that little step ahead of the pack before falling to the ground. So a power start, power jam, and a lead jammer for Grave Danger. And Job of the Hut looking to the middle. It's nice when they play at this end. So much easier to see.
In fact, it gives us a much better view than when they are all the way in turn 3.
Tiny Danger released from the penalty box, and Job of the Hut cuts the inside, just enough hip to knock out. So they will recycle back. This Tiny Danger is clear.
A reminder to those of you watching at home, if you'd like to be watching in person but aren't sure that you'll have as good a view, a reminder that Rat City is always happy for volunteers. You can check them out at ratcityrollerderby.com. You too can learn how to tape a track or track a penalty.
Or lay out sport court. There's all kinds of fun things you can do as a volunteer.
Particularly our non-skating officials absolutely have the best view of the game.
Very true.
And we love to have fans turn officials.
Rex jamming against Singular They Him. And Singular They Him is clear. Lead jammer, Rose City Records. As Rex tied up at the front. The full strength of the Rose City pack holding on to Rex, now splitting backwards. So direction of play penalty called. That's going to be on number 19, Debbie Does Malice. That will let Rex get free.
Judge Booty ran back to play a little offense, did not quite work. However, Singular They Them did wind up with 2 points there at the end of that jam, bringing the total score to 36-14 in favor of the team in red.
Got about 20 minutes to go in this first period.
Darth Slater lining up against Devo. Once again, Grave Danger with a 4-3 advantage in the pack as Debbie Does Malice is serving a direction of gameplay penalty. If you happen to be watching at home and this is your first roller derby, a fun rule to remember is that in order to make contact with another skater, your wheels have to be rolling in the derby direction.
Very important, as all rules are. Devo pushing on the outside. But Darth Slater is through for points. Devo now free.
Qui-Gon Jinn is going to return to the penalty box once again for a multiplayer block penalty. That is when you grab your teammate in such a way that no other skater can get through that barrier without breaking a bone. We don't like breaking bones in roller derby, and so that becomes a penalty.
Generally frowned upon.
It does in fact happen,
Yes.
but we don't like it.
Devo able to pick up 2, so a 4-2 jam for Grave Danger takes them to 40. Rose City now 16.
Sneaky one Kenobi there on the jammer line. Squaring off now against Alley Cat.
Four on 3 in the pack with the Rose City Wreckers with the advantage. And out first is Alley Cat. Alley Cat sliding through, but not knocked out of bounds, but didn't have to get back up, as the skater that hit her knocked down as well. Now Sneaky One Kenobi pushing at the front, tripod held steadily.
Meanwhile, Alley Cat having a fight with a Grave Danger 3-wall here at the back of the pack.
Now Sonny and Edward Scullen holding at the front. And Alley Cat is through with points. There's a lot of whistles and gesturing, but it still worked out to be 4. The Sneaky One Kenobi finally completes the initial pass. Alley Cat calls off the jam.
That whistle was in honor of Cherry Bomb going to the box for a forearm penalty.
So 3 more points for Alley Cat at the end of that jam. Takes Rose City to 7 on the jam and 23 total. 17-point lead for Grave Danger.
We are once again seeing number 5, a green beam on the jammer line for Grave Danger, squaring off this time against Singular They Them. A green beam finding her way around the last line of defense and out once again with lead jammer status.
Ooh, Singular They Him hopping and spinning through the back to clear. A green beam calls off the jam. 4 points takes us to 44-23. We want to welcome our season sponsor, BECU. BECU is a not-for-profit credit union where your financial well-being comes first. When you become a BECU member, you get access to free checking, financial tools, and exclusive event discounts. So visit becu.org to learn more.
That is Hand Job of the Hut jamming for Grave Danger, this time against Tiny Danger from the Rose City Wreckers.
And Hand Job of the Hut clears first, lead jammer, Grave Danger. Grave Danger with lead 1 time more than Rose City.
Ahsoka having a seat with our volunteers over in the penalty box for an illegal starting position. There are lines on the track between which you must be.
Yes, indeed. Tiny Danger held up, forced to the infield. Hand Job of the Hut takes the line on the inside. A forearm penalty being called. That is being called on number 206 for Grave Danger. Glupshito. Finally get to say Glupshito, unfortunately in reference to a penalty.
Judge Booty from Portland is also sitting for illegal contact, as is Sunny for a direction of gameplay penalty. Pack was thinning out there for a moment.
Meanwhile, on the track, Ahsoka is kind of owning Tiny Danger in this jam, just playing the I'm going to shove you out of bounds as many times as possible, but Tiny Danger finally clear.
You see, she is no Jedi.
Yes. Hand Job of the Hut calls off the jam. 2 points on the final, or 3 points on the final run. brings us to 19-0 jam for Grave Danger, now 63-23.
If you happen to be watching at home, but you are here in the Metro Seattle area and you would like to celebrate the official championship after party, will be at Rough and Tumble in Ballard. For every Morgan's Mule sold, $1 will be donated back to the league. Do not miss out as we toast the final bout of the season. Food will be served all night, starting at 10 p.m. The menu does get limited though, so get there early and have fun with us at the after party at Rough and Tumble.
Yes, should be a good time. Rex jamming against Alley Cat, and Alley Cat, almost through, but no, cuts the track. So power jam for Rex, and Rex keeps the toes inbounds. Close, but inbounds. So lead jammer going to Rex.
One of the many ways we're kicking it old school here today at Rat City Championships is that there is rope on the track, so the jammers have some tactile feedback as to whether or not they have gone out of bounds.
Rex coming back in for a second scoring pass, bounces off, ducks around the pivot, Droopy McCool, but catches just enough hit to end up out of bounds. 3 points.
And that is a team timeout called by the Rose City Wreckers. You've been listening to us talk about businesses that sponsor Rat City all day. We want to remind you that if you have a business, Rat City loves their sponsors. Learn more about sponsorship opportunities by emailing sponsorship@ratcityrollerderby.com. You too can join the Rat Pack next season and hear your name or the name of your business right here on our live stream.
Or live in the venue.
Also live in the venue.
Hear Murray Grande talk about your business.
But you don't have to be local.
No, not at all.
We are happy to shout out businesses from across the country, all around the world here on the Rat City live stream.
So looking at our penalty board, no one in trouble yet. Rose City with more penalties overall. They got 3 skaters with 2 and a couple with 1. Meanwhile, on the Grave Danger side, Qui-Gon Ginger has 2 and the others have 1 each. So as you would expect, halfway through the first period of play. Not a huge, no one in trouble yet.
Which is good.
It's very good.
At this juncture of the game.
Exactly.
If anybody was sitting on 6 penalties at this point, I would be concerned for their overall well-being.
Yes.
Okay, here comes Darth Slater. Jamming for Grave Danger. This will be a power start for our home team. Alley Cat still with a star for the Rose City Wreckers. Continues to serve that cut track penalty that happened in the first lap of the first part of last jam. Alley Cat now out of the penalty box, but not before Darth Slater could get out with lead jammer status. Alley Cat knocked to the outside run all the way back by Darth Malice.
Too many Darths.
There's supposed to only be 2, but Sith don't exactly follow the rules. That's kind of their thing.
Well, then I would expect to see more penalties. However, who knows? Darth Slater knocks the track, calls off the jam, as Alley Cat had returned to the pack and picked up a couple of points.
73-23 your total score, 50 points ahead for Grave Danger. Oh no, points came in at the last minute. That is 73-25.
Still a 48-point, relatively comfortable lead at this point. Devo
That
with the star for, and lead jammer rather, for the Rose City Wreckers.
That is Sneaky One Kenobi there jamming for Grave Danger, looking to get through a big 4-wall up at the front of the pack. Meanwhile, Devo with a little leap over the apex comes through, puts up 4 points for the Rose City Wreckers. Rose City does have a 1 blocker advantage in the pack at the moment as Rookie Necropsy is sitting with our amazing non-skating officials over in the penalty box.
Devo tapping the hips right as contact made. Like, I'm going to get hit, but I'm going to try and get the point. And did indeed. Pick up all 4 of them, so now 29 for Rose City. Grave Danger 73, a 44-point total.
Once again, a green beam and singular they, them are lined up on the jam line. We are back to 4-on-4 in the pack 5-on-5 derby, just like the rule book says. A green beam finding a little offense, then finding a lane, pushing her way past the last line of defense up front, comes out with lead jammer status.
Meanwhile, Singular Mayhem knocked to the track back up. Pushing, trying to the outside. There's nothing there either. And Singular Mayhem forced out of bounds to the outside. A Green picks up the back block on the way through the pack. So power jam for Singular Mayhem.
Grave Danger looking to run Singular they, them all the way back to the edge of the engagement zone. A little help with Judge Booty there, keeping them from going out of play.
Singular Mayhem, sort of a sneaky attempt at a star pass, but I'm not sure if it was a pass or just a drop. Either way, star ends up on the ground.
Either way.
Singular Mayhem has to come back and pick it up. And almost through, but shouldered out by Padawan Braid. Padawan Braid forced out of bounds as well, and star pass is now complete.
Judge Booty now the jammer of record for the Rose City Wreckers.
And A Green Bean also out of the penalty box and through, picks up the 4 points. As does Judge Booty.
A Green Beam with a little jump over the apex there, coming through with 4 more points. This jam is going to go its full 2 minutes.
We got about 25 seconds left in the jam. Judge Booty not through, cuts the track. A Green Bean got the 4 points and now has another 10 seconds of power jam, and that's enough to get through the pack again. So that will be a 16-point run with a penalty in the middle.
That was quite a successful jam there for Grave Danger. I could tell Judge Booty was under the impression the blocker went null when she came back in.
I think so, yes.
Be in this sport long enough, you could read the looks on their faces, or maybe it's a Jedi mind trick, but either way, Judge Booty was convinced that blocker had gone null, but the referees thought otherwise.
So 89-37 now, 52-point game.
That is hand Jabba the Hutt getting through, getting past those hips there in time to get lead jammer status, but then forced out of bounds and made to run all the way back.
And
Number 235, Heisenbrod.
Again, bumped out, that time by Megan Me Angry. And finally, and Jabba the Hutt's freed, but a great penalty kill is Judge Booty.
Darth Mollis there up front looking to stop Judge Booty's forward momentum. Did not quite make it so.
And Jabba the Hutt taps the hips, calls off the jam. 1 little point for Grave Danger.
Or 1 big point.
Yes.
Depending on which scoreboard you're looking at. The size of the points.
Truth. 8.5 minutes to go in the first period of play.
That is Rex, and that is Tiny Danger.
From this angle, we got to wait for Tiny Danger to get out from behind people to see that it's Tiny Danger.
Fortunately, they gave us this handy-dandy display device.
That was helpful. Rex is through, lead jammer. Grave Danger. Tiny Danger. Shirt whipping around. Helped out by...
Tiny Danger's coach trying to signal that that jammer cover does not appear secure. However, that jam is called before it has a chance to matter.
And while we're spending tonight on our 20th anniversary looking for the celebrating our past, we got to listen to.
Meanwhile, Sonny is being sent back to get the number touched up on the arm.
Devo there on the jam line for the Rose City Wreckers. And that is Darth Slater.
Everybody going down, except Darth Slater, who's pushing towards the front, but Devo hopping over the corner, grabs lead jammer.
Luke Skywalker playing a little offense. Darth Slater makes some progress, but then gets swallowed up again. Darth Slater finally through, having completed the initial pass. Meanwhile, Glupshido knocking Devo down and out and down again.
Yes, Glupshido, 2 great stops on the corner, keeping Devo from clearing too heavily.
However, one of them was just deemed illegal, so Glupshido is going to go have a seat for that.
Well, sure.
6.5 minutes remaining before we go to halftime.
Sneaky one from Elevation Alley Cat with the Jam Stars, 14 with 3 blockers on the track.
Reloading again. Sneaky One Kenobi jamming against Alley Cat. Alley Cat out quickly. Lead jammer, Rose City. And Alley Cat rolls through with the points.
Looks to the bench, is not told to call it off.
Well, there's all kinds of people in the penalty box right now. 3-on-2 in the pack advantage for Rose City. Now getting a little reinforcement. 4-on-3. Glup is released. So 4 more up for Rose City.
So we're talking about the postseason before. Also, if you want to join us and go down to Portland in November, Rose City.
And we sit 97-46, a 51-point game.
November 1st through 3rd, tickets on sale now. Get limited prices at RoseCityRollers.com.
And off we roll on to jam number 20. A Green Bean jamming against Alley Cat. And A Green Bean, a little bean dip at the end to clear out and grab lead jammer.
Alley Cat is through, completing an initial pass while A Green Beam comes and shoves her way through the pack. Just there, Debbie Does Malice called for a multiplayer block. They are going to go have a seat, leaving the Rose City Wreckers with a 4-3 disadvantage in the pack going into the next jam.
Rose City's coming up to about an hour later.
4:15 to go in the period. Hand Job of the Hut set to jam against Tiny Danger.
I think it's cool. I think it's cool that Hand Job of the Hut is jamming.
Hand Job of the Hut trying on the outside, cuts back to the in, almost clear but caught by Cherry Bomb. And now dips past Sunny to break free as lead jammer. Sunny trying to open the lane for Tiny Danger. Everybody goes to the ground. Luke Skyrocker holding things up at the front.
Tiny Danger out and through, was looking to make some trouble for Hand Job at the Hut. Did not quite make it happen. Jam gets called.
So 105-46 with just about 3:20 to go in the period. Rex jamming against Singular They Him. Both packs at full strength, at least at the moment.
Don't want to jinx it.
I know, well, I probably already have. It is the joy of being an announcer. I can say things like that and then people go to the box. Rex not going to the box. Rex, lead jammer, Grave Danger.
Fancy tiptoe spinning maneuver there on the outside. And yes, folks, that is a technical term.
Yes, indeed. And that is a forearm penalty being assessed on, I believe, Chewbacca for Grave Danger.
Rex is going to go have a seat for a back block penalty. It's going to be a power jam for the Rose City Wreckers.
And 1:20 left in the jam as well. Star pass off to Bratmobile. So Rose City with a 4-on-2 advantage in the pack and sliding through quickly. Banthalonia, or Bantaloni, I guess, sitting on the direction play penalty as well.
Bratmobile signaling the team for a little offense, does not get any.
No.
Meanwhile, the Rose City Wreckers were set up and waiting for Rex to come. Strategy that worked as Heisenblad knocks Rex all the way to the outside, runs her back.
Mantaloni back into play, so we're back to full strength for both teams. Bratmobile 7 points on the board so far, as Rex finally completes the first scoring pass. They've got 4 on.
Rex knocked down but not out there in the straightaway. Now dealing with a 2-all. Looking to force that last line of defense out of play. And it happens.
Yes,
Rex
indeed.
with 4 points.
That was Heisenbrod picking up the serving a multiplayer block.
That was the thing that happened right before
was right,
getting
yeah.
pushed all the way out of play.
Where's the out of play penalty? It hasn't shown up on the board yet. All right, jam comes to a close. Rose City 9, Grave Danger 8.
That brings our total score to 113.55 in favor of Grave Danger. I would tell you how much time is left in the half, but that is not on my screen.
No, it's about 35 seconds. I've got just enough window through to the scoreboard. We'll have to get that up on this one in a bit. But we got Darth Slater and Devo, and Devo is your lead jammer.
Devo is not lead jammer, a penalty being assessed,
So
meaning that
Darth Slater-
Darth Slater did in fact earn lead jammer status, just didn't know it.
Yes. Yeah, outside pack ref caught the cut track on Devo and took a little time to make its way around the circle. Devo just that quick.
Darth Slater is out with 4 more points.
Jam clock now expired. We are on period time, or period clock rather expired. We're now on jam time until Darth Slater chooses to call it off. Completes the second scoring pass. Devo released from the penalty box and forced out of bounds.
Devo with the star in hand, looking to jostle away around the outside.
Gets clear, and penalty coming to Darth Slater. So power jam now on the Devo side, and we got 40 seconds left in this jam.
That was clearly for the benefit of the audience. They are here for roller derby.
Exactly. I want to stretch this first period out as far as possible.
That was some fancy dancing, a juke, a jive, and a fall to the ground. However, Devo went down but not out. They are now tangled up with a 3-wall at the front. Grave Danger blockers rolling back to try and keep him in check.
Devo called on a... Nope, that back block was going
Edward
to...
Scullin gonna go have a seat for a back block. Devo still fighting that Grave Danger 3-wall.
Boy. All right. Darth Slater picks up 12 total on the jam. 3 points for Devo. So that'll take us to 125.67 at the half.
What is fantastic, at least for the fans of Grave Danger here in this building, is that Grave Danger has a 4-2 advantage in the pack and a power start.
They do. They do to the point of no return.
That is sneaky Juan Kenobi, and they are your lead jammer.
Stanley Juan Kenobi rolling through on that first scoring pass. Bump to the side, but not out, as Grave Danger waiting at the back, forcing the pack to slow to their pace. As Devo now out of the penalty box.
With the jammer star in his hand.
Yes.
However, Grave Danger jammer is back out with 4 points in the sky. Devo completing the initial pass with the star in their hand. Has now reapplied it to his helmet. There's a whole lot of twisting and twirling over there, but it is not quite enough to get through inbounds.
All right, so through with the more points, 8 I think total on the jam now. 4 and a 4 makes it 8, right? I believe. Technically that's correct. As Devo sitting in the box for a head block penalty as the systems finally wake back up.
Sneaky one can be.
Than talking about complaining about the computer, right? Isn't that?
However, it is an integral part of what we're doing here.
It is.
I'm sitting here announcing Derby Old School with a piece of paper in my left hand and a microphone in my right, hoping I can remember the jammer's name every time I look away from the paper.
Darth Slater, 4 more on the jam. Calls
Sneaky one Kenobi, tap to the hips, calls the jammer off. It appears our screen just refreshed. With an error message, friends.
Live commentary is 90% enthusiasm, 10% accuracy. And when I'm wrong with conviction.
It's the American way. All right, we got 8
That is a green beam. Jamming for danger through once again right up the middle, lead jammer status.
I'm not even sure how a green bean was able to fit through that gap. That was like minuscule.
From side to side, there's not much of her,
Ah, that was the difference.
so she doesn't need much of a hole.
Yes.
As she demonstrates with 4 points just now. Hamboni gonna go have a seat. A green beam with a hop, a skip, and a jump over the apex right here in front of us. Thank you for that view.
Star pass from Devo. Alley Cat now holding the star, but forced out of bounds and rolls back.
Alley Cat having been a wildly successful jammer for the Wreckers this afternoon.
A green bean calls off the jam. 8 total. That takes Grave Danger to 145, Wreckers 61.
However, Alley Cat, I believe, picking up a cut track penalty there at the end. Yes, that is correct. She's going to go have a seat. Happened right here on the outside.
So a second straight power start for Grave Danger. This time they will send out Hand Job of the Hut. Number 127, and Hand Job of the Hut quickly through the pack.
Most of the Rose City Record blockers are returning to the track from the penalty box.
Yes, I believe we are now back to 4-on-4 strength. Hand Job of the Hut forced out of bounds by Sonny. And just getting in before Cheery Bomb ran back fully. So they will get 4 on that pass. Alley Cat out of the penalty box and back. Hits the seam, but the seam holds. Oh, multiplayer block. That was why the seam held, because of the hang on. All right. I guess that's not legal.
Droopy McCool, they're going to go have a seat in the penalty box now. Grave Danger has been remarkably light on penalties today.
Yes, certainly compared to Rose City. Rose City with 22 total penalties now. Grave Danger 14.
Oh, that is in fact a statistic that we have at our fingertips.
I know.
I was just being observant.
See, I don't have to be observant anymore because it's all
right there.
It works.
Derby announcing made easy, provided the technology works. And right now the technology is telling me the jammer for Grave Danger is Rex, and the jammer for Rose City is Tiny Danger. We are 3-on-3 in the pack, 1 blocker from each team serving penalty time right now, and Rex is through with your lead jammer status.
And Tiny Danger also breaks out.
Just pushing by Chewbacca there on the outside. Tiny Danger comes around, having completed the initial pass. Rex pushed to the outside by Debbie Does Malice, but they are unable to run back fast enough.
Meanwhile, Tiny Danger pops through for 4 points.
Rex says a 3-wall at the front, gets forced to the outside, calls the jam off. Just as Chewbacca takes a seat for an illegal position.
Illegal positioning. So an 8-4 jam. Grave Danger now leading 164-65. 23 and a half minutes to go in the period. Darth Slater set to jam against Singular They Him. And Singular They Him breaks free, lead jammer Rose City. As number 42, Darth Slater, held up by the Rose City pack, pushing towards the front, and finally gets enough of a cascade to sneak past Heisenbrod to clear and complete the initial.
Singular They Them out, lead jammer 4 points, calls the jam off before Darth Slater has a chance to put any more points on the board. 4-0 jam in favor of Rose City.
And the first scoreless jam of the period for Grave Danger. Here at Rat City, we like hobbies that get our hearts racing, and no one does that better than Seattle romance novelist Lauren Dane. With over 70 stories to choose from, this New York Times and USA Today bestseller has captured our hearts. Learn more about our steamy sponsor at laurendane.com.
Alley Cat now with a star for the Rose City Wreckers up the inside. Little pirouette puts her in lead jammer position. Meanwhile, Sneaky One Kenobi with a big stride on the outside, completing the initial pass as well.
Alley Cat bumped out, calls off the jam after catching the run back, or noticing the run back, not getting caught by, and stepping back out of play and going, oh, we should probably stop this now.
If you're watching at home, you miss the atmosphere of being here with the DJ spinning hits. You may want to tune into C89.5, Seattle's home for dance music. Whether the jammer is dancing through the pack or you're just ready to party at home like it is, well, the 20th anniversary of Rat City, you can tune into C89, Seattle's award-winning home for dance music.
Judge Booty with the star for the Rose City Wreckers, A Green Bean. A Green Bean is lead jammer, but Judge Booty, they are right behind, also clearing the pack quickly. I believe this is Judge Booty's first time starting with the star. They had a good power jam, or a star pass earlier, the first half. A Green Bean calls off the jam, grabs 3. Takes us to 167.71, or yes, 167.71.
Yet another way you can make your at-home viewing experience a little closer to what we've got here at the hangar is with Seattle Cider, Georgetown Brewing, and Locust Cider Beverages. Those are the sponsors of this afternoon's beer garden. They're pouring delicious drinks for those 21 and up here at the hangar, and you too can enjoy these same delicious brews right there in your own home thanks to Seattle Cider, Georgetown Brewing, and Locust Cider.
And Jabba the Hutt jamming against Tiny Danger. Tiny Danger rolled well back, and Jabba the Hutt pushing towards the front, trying to get through. But almost all of the defense for Rose City is right there at the front. But finally, Hand Jabba the Hutt is clear. Tiny Danger sitting in the penalty box. Didn't catch what it is. It hasn't popped up on the board yet. There's 4 points for Hand Jabba the Hutt.
Hand Jabba the Hutt dancing up the inside line, just manages to squeak by those Rose City Wrecker blockers for 4 more points for Grave Danger.
And
Tiny Danger back on the track, completing the initial pass.
And Jabba the Hutt calls off the jam. Looking like 3 coming up there. 11 total on the jam. Now 178 to 71.
Once again, jamming for Grave Danger, we have Rex. Standing there with the star for the Rose City Wreckers is Devo.
Rex starting on the outside now, pushing against Sonny. Sonny teaming up with 220 Cheery Bomb at the front.
Big double team action, a push and then a shove. You're not allowed to shove a member of another team, but you can push your own teammate into another skater, which they did. Rex, however, coming back in with a juke, a jive, and a sternum check to recover. Rex is your lead jammer.
When in doubt, just shove your own team as much as you want.
There are very few things that is illegal to do to a member of your own team.
Devo, 1 to beat. Bumping up against Luke Skyrocker. As Rex also pushes through the front.
Padawan Braid making some illegal contact. Looks like that might have been out of play contact.
Devo also sitting for a high block penalty, so power jam now for Rex. With 4 more points, 8 total so far on the jam.
Grave Danger set up there at the back looking to play some offense. Did not need to do much. Rex powering her way through the pack. 4 more points in the sky for Grave Danger. Brings our score to 190 to 71 in favor of our Jedis in red.
And Rex, great job calling off the jam early, locking Devo in the penalty box. So Devo will have to wait and start this next jam.
This will be a power start for Darth Slater. Both teams at full strength in the pack. Darth Slater tangled up there at the front with Bratmobile and Alley Cat.
Judge Booty also joining in the front at the front, I think, or actually no, that was Ultraviolet rather. As Alley Cat heads to the box for a direction penalty. Devo almost through and shouldered out of bounds.
Big bump to the inside from Chewbacca, running Devo all the way back. Meanwhile, Darth Slater is through with 4 points. Bratmobile also going to go visit our volunteer friends over in the penalty box. Meanwhile, Darth Slater up there with Ultraviolet and Judge Booty.
Ooh. And another penalty, yeah.
Judge Booty with a forearm penalty called by the outside pack referees. You are not getting anything past the Zebras today. Don't try it.
No favors today. Devo hands off to Alley Cat. Alley Cat up the inside. Clears the pack. Meanwhile, Darth Slater. 8 total on the jam. Or make that 12, rather. Third pass is complete. Alley Cat also sneaks through and grabs 4. And we're getting an official review. Our second of the half. While we wait for that, let's mention Riot Physical Therapy. Behind every good skater is a good physical therapist, and we would like to thank Riot Physical Therapy for being behind these skaters today. You're in good hands with Riot.
Speaking of skaters, if you are local to the Seattle area and this looks like fun, if you are ready to live out your own roller derby dream, you can join Rat City. There are programs here for brand new skaters as well as experienced derby athletes. You can email new skaters at ratcityrollerderby.com for all the information. Come out and skate with Rat City next season.
2:05.75, 15 minutes to go in our second period of play. official timeout, I believe, being used as a, with the official review being used as a timeout, perhaps.
I think I should let everyone watching at home know that Scott Chicken and Murray Grande are on a vibe right now because the house call is doing the exact same commercial.
Hey, that's good. It's good to know we're lining up.
We're all in this together on team announcers over here.
Yes. So coming up next after this game, we will have a little bit of a break, and then we will be back with our
Alumni.
game, our 15-minute game with smallish rosters, but it's going to be fun.
I have been assured by many of our Rat City alumni that 15 minutes is going to be plenty.
I think when they first talked about it was going to be half an hour, I'm like, I don't think it's going to be a half an hour. I mean, I don't skate, but I'm guessing. But if you're a fan of skaters like Sammy Automatic or Tempura Tantrum, we got Betty Ford Galaxy coming back, Lily Lightning, Luna Negra, Make My Day, Penny Racer. It's going to be great.
Shorty Ounce, Clobber and Mame.
It will be a good time. Hopefully will be had by all.
If you were with us here in this venue 20 years ago,
You may.
you will recognize some of these names and many of these skaters.
Yes.
Betty Ford Galaxy has graced us with her full face of Boutfit makeup,
Yes.
just like the good old days. Good old days. I say 2 whistle starts, minor penalties. It wasn't all
It's necessarily all good.
as good as it is
Those
now.
old days.
But with the rose-colored glasses of nostalgia, we loved it. We loved the penalty wheel. We loved a good poodle. We loved an outside whiteboard.
Oh yes. Or the score whiteboard too.
Our points princesses or other title that is less G-rated that I shan't say on the stream.
Yes, indeed. I asked Murray if they were going to do penalty wheel for that, and apparently the answer was no. Again, too much work for the refs that were not.
In fact, although I will say, Lexi Luthor will be coaching one of the 2 alumni teams, and I have it on good authority the penalty wheel is in her garage.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it will make an appearance. Who knows?
They could have gotten her to bring it. Seymour Carnage could have brought the penalty wheel to
right.
us.
Devo back in the penalty box.
This time for a misconduct penalty.
But not wearing the star, because the star is on the head of. I think someone else is sitting that penalty for Devo. That may have been being announced over the air here, and I didn't hear it enough to know.
We will try to find that out for you, but there is a substitution in the penalty box.
Yes.
Although Devo has credit for the penalty that is currently being served, the jammer of record is in fact
Sneaky one.
a person whose number I will tell you as soon as they return to the track and I can see it.
13 Sneaky One Kenobi, and this is Sonny with the star for Rose City. And Sonny is through, completing the initial out of the penalty box.
Meanwhile, the Grave Danger jammer is Sneaky One Kenobi, sneaking back after getting bumped out.
Sneaky One Kenobi 4 on the jam
That
so
is
far.
Heisenbrod once again going to go have a seat for a multiplayer block.
And we will slowly but surely, looking at the far scoreboard, we got 2 on the board for Rose City, 8 for Grave Danger. So 2:13.77.
Alley Cat and a green beam lighting up on the jammer line. Grave Danger with a 4-3 advantage in the pack as Judge Booty continues to serve a forearm penalty.
And a green bean is through.
Alley Cat right behind.
Yes. Alley Cats had excellent getting out of the pack all game long, and that was a lovely move on the inside as well. As A Green calls off the jam, but maybe flagged for a cut track. Yes, A Green.
A green beam. was called on a cut track penalty. She seemed confused. She, in fact, seems still confused. However, skating to the penalty box because that's what you do.
Exactly. Official timeout once again called.
While we're at this official timeout, I want to congratulate the Rat City All-Star team for making it to the WFTDA postseason. They will be competing in the North America West Regional Playoffs, which take place June 14th through 16th in Mesa, Arizona. Tickets for the 2024 WFTDA Global Championships are on sale right now, and that tournament will be hosted by the Rose City Rollers right here in the Pacific Northwest in Portland, Oregon, November 1st through 3rd of 2024. You can get early bird ticket prices right now by going to rosecityrollers.com, and be sure to tune in to the WFTDA live streams of all of those playoff tournaments.
Yes. Should be fun. Veterans Memorial Coliseum, I think, down in Portland. Same place champs were a few years ago.
I like it when it's local.
I do too. Anything you can drive to is always better.
Correct. Because the airline has never lost my luggage when I've driven someplace.
Right. Okay, we are back to it with 127 hand job of the Hut, jamming against 815 Tiny Danger.
I will say that cut track penalty against A Green Beam was in fact nullified. The jammer referee was calling the jam off before A Green Beam came back into bounds. Therefore, that failure to yield did not result in a cut track penalty. It resulted in the jam being called. So we do have a new jammer out here for Grave Danger.
Yes,
and that is
hand job of the Hut.
Hand job of the Hut.
Hand job of the Hut. Tiny Danger, meanwhile, the outside dodges up and picks up the points, clears through. Hand job of the Hut, checking with the bench. Do I call? Do I not? Being rolled all the way back to the beginning of turn one. And cutting left, cutting right, and pushing through to pick up 4 points.
Penalty box has cleared here with 5-on-5 derby. We have 4 more points in the sky for Grave Danger.
Hand job of the Hut back to the bench, hands off the star. So we are right next to the Grave Danger bench for this run.
That is Rex, and that is Judge Booty. Now that we've got a little more than 11 minutes left in this game, I'm beginning to recognize skaters, and I don't have to look for their numbers.
I know, it's kind of nice when, again, computers not always agreeing. Too many bodies in between us and the router, I think, is the
Although I will say Judge Booty did the announcers a kindness today because they chose to wear blue shorts where everyone else is wearing black.
Oh, yes.
So they are very easy to spot, and they are lead jammer.
They are indeed. Rex also clears, giving chase, but Judge Booty approaching the pack quickly. So we got one skater for...
Judge Booty tangles up with Glup Shido there as the last line of defense, already putting up 3 points. They decide to call that jam off. Meanwhile, Grave Danger had also picked up 3 points on that jam.
So now we're sitting 222.92.
I see Darth Slater. And that appears to be Alley Cat.
It is Alley Cat, indeed.
Solar Decimation serving a 4-on penalty, so we are 4-on-3 in the pack in favor of Grave Danger. Darth Slater taking advantage of that, pushing her way through for lead jammer status. Alley Cat with a bit of a sneak attack. She is also through, completing the initial pass.
And Darth Slater calls off the jam. Alley Cat hits the pack hard. Knocks down number 33, Admiral Smackbar. Got Smackbar to the track. But with those 4, Grave Danger now 226, Wreckers 92.
That is singular they, them with the star for the Rose City Wreckers, and whoever is wearing the star for Grave Danger is Sneaky One Kenobi. Singular they, them not to the inside by Tauntaun Boy. Forced to recycle, does so successfully, is through, and they have lead jammer status. Meanwhile, Sneaky One Kenobi sneaks around the outside on their toe stops. They are also through.
Super sneaky.
It was very sneaky.
That was like right along the line, beautifully executed. Singular they, him calls off the jam. 4 points up for Rose City, 98-226.
That is a green beam. And that is Making Me Angry.
Yeah.
A green beam glides around the outside. Once again, only needing a teeny tiny hole to get through. Making Me Angry passes the star over to Judge Booty, who gets past the last line of Grave Danger defense and is out, having completed that initial pass.
Was Ahsoka trying to slow things down?
Indeed.
A green bean calls off the jam. Did Judge Booty get any points? No. No points, and a official review now being called.
We are going to have an official review called by the Rose City Records. Want to give a big shout out to Danny Gann, Matt Niehaus, and NP Photography, Andrew Ryan, our official Rat City Bound photographers today. You'll be able to find their photos on their photograph pages as well as RatCityRollerDerby.com. Our official roller derby photographers are trained to only get my good side.
Oh, that's good. It's important to get that connection with the photographer.
We need it in this sport.
Yes, indeed.
Also a reminder, you see a bunch of fierce Rat City Roller Derby merch all over this arena today. You can get that online as well, RatCityRollerDerby.com. I know I sound like a broken record, but the website is a great resource for information on league games and events and fundraisers, and yes, in fact, merchandise available for purchase to the general public.
It's got a big banner right at the top. Buy merchandise. So you can get your sweatshirts, t-shirts, all other Rat City merch needs.
Tank tops, hoodies, stickers.
I don't think they're selling helmet covers yet, though.
But you can cover your helmet in
with the t-shirt.
stickers.
Oh, or yes. There you go.
You can tell a brand new helmet by it not having any stickers on it yet.
There we are. All right, referees discussing, chatting with the teams.
We may never know
We may
what
not.
just happened.
They are going see much NSO conversation in the middle. So that's good.
We like to keep a little mystery in roller derby. And so no one has come over here to tell us anything about either of these official reviews.
That's all right.
They're just going to keep us all guessing, friends and fans. You watching at home know the same thing I do, I promise.
We're right here. Well, I see people coming back on the track, so we are going to get another jam, so that's good.
We have everything, so I assume that means there's no change.
All right. Whatever the official review was, I think it got a doesn't matter. We're going to not retain, and we will start off
My
Alley Cat as lead jammer number 515.
My very educated guess is that they were trying to review Tauntaun Boy's cut track penalty, because usually you're only going to review something from the previous jam, and Tauntaun Boy is currently serving that penalty, giving Rose City a 4-3 pack advantage, of which Alley Cat has taken advantage. Lead jammer status, 4 points, Rose City.
Alley Cat grabs the 4 points, 102-230. And we got 7:15-ish to go in the period.
And we've got Rex. And we've got Tiny Danger, who is just small enough to disappear entirely behind a referee in my field of view.
Tiny Danger, almost small enough to sneak through, but not quite able to get past Luke Skyrocker. Luke using a little force choke maneuver, I think, there to slow things down. Meanwhile, Rex pushing towards the front, but Tiny Danger out the front. First lead jammer, Rose City. Second straight jam with lead going to Rose City.
Rex finally dodges around Judge Booty there at the last line of defense.
Luke Skyrocker again with a hip check to force the rollback.
Cheery Bomb going to go have a seat for a low block penalty.
So a 2-0 run takes us to 104-230.
There is Sneaky One Kenobi lined up there against Singular Mayhem.
Extra sneaky on this one, Kenobi.
Oh, blocked there by
Sneaky One Kenobi forced to the outside.
Pushing, and a nice shoulder from Sonny right at the end. Knocking them to the infield. Singular Mayhem pushing at the front. 2 to beat.
Glupshido right on Sneaky One Kenobi.
Qui-Gon Jinn sort of deciding halfway there. Am I going to the pack? Am I gonna bridge? Not sure which. Meanwhile, out first, Sneaky One Kenobi picks up lead jammer. Like 40 seconds into the jam. The Singular Mayhem has rolled back to the start. 4 points up for Sneaky One Kenobi.
That is Glupshido, called for a direction of gameplay penalty. Sneaky One Kenobi loses the high ground. That is knocked to her knees, decides to call the jam there.
That was a sizable rollback and drop you on your rear, I gotta say.
That was a whole mood. As is Darth Slater and Alley Cat.
We got 4 minutes and change to go in this game. 234-104, and a lead jammer going to Alley Cat, number 515 for Rose City.
Alley Cat hits the pack, forced to the outside by Chewbacca.
And Alley Cat picks up the points, calls off the jam. A 4-0 run, 234-108.
A green beam once again returning to the jammer line alongside Alley Cat. We got a little more than 4 minutes left in this contest, and we're going to take a break and come back with the All-Star Alumni bout.
It's gonna be. It's just like, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm out here anyway. We don't need another jammer.
A green beam called lead jammer. Meanwhile, Alley Cat called on a cut track penalty, a green beam with a power jam, and a signal from her bench to just keep skating.
Yes, indeed. We got 2:40 to go in the game, so why not run the clock a bit? A green beam through with 4. And a little lateral hop.
Somehow jumping the straight.
Lands it, gets the points, calls off the jam.
Literally red 5,
Yeah.
which was Luke Skywalker's call sign at the Death Star.
A lovely move. 2:42, 108. Couple of minutes remaining. Ticking down towards it.
Hand Jabba the Hutt lining up on the jam line. Power start here for Grave Danger.
And
Hand Jabba the Hutt knocked hard to the outside by Cheery Bomb, who cannot run all the way back.
and then hipped out again. Is
Thanks to the efforts of Ginger. Meanwhile, Alley Cat races out of the penalty box, comes around, earns lead jammer status because no one noticed she was on the track.
Meanwhile, star pass off, hand job of the Hutt, handing it over to number 81,
Ahsoka.
So Rose, Alley Cat able to add 3, takes Rose City to 111. And we're down to a minute to go in the game or so, 2:42, 111.
Rex is back on the jam line in red. I believe that to be Tiny Danger.
Could be, can't see them, so it's a very good guess. Yes, indeed, Tiny
It's
Danger.
a small person with an 8 in their number. Tiny Danger with a fantastic whip off of Megan Me Angry, coming through with lead jammer status.
Almost could have gotten called for that jammer penalty, but not quite.
Rex coming through now, trying to burst through a wall there at the front. Darth Maul is looking to play a little offense.
Tiny Danger does love grabbing the shirt. And super effective with it. Rex finally almost out. Dropped to the track.
Knocked to the outside there on the exact opposite corner from where we are.
But Heisenbrod rolling all the way back here so we could tell who it was. So that,
Thank you for
very
that.
kind. Tiny Danger calls off the jam, and that is our game. Unofficial final score, Grave Danger 242, Rose City Wreckers 118.